The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
How you doing, Mr. Berg?
Fine.
My name's Iman Trek with Ground Zero magazine.
Okay.
And I'll be doing like a lot of interviews with a lot of celebrities, a lot of up-and-coming artists, rock and roll stars, hip-hop artists. So I like to meet individuals like yourself and get your view on the world. And I walked in the middle of your speech. I'm sorry I didn't get the whole thing, but I'd like to hear like more of your views against like Obama. What tips you off to have you so adamant to say the things you say and
Sure.
to have your plight? You know?
Okay, first off, for your thing, it's Philip J. Berg, Philip,
Okay.
J initial Berg, B-E-R-G.
All right.
I got involved in 2008. I received a phone call from someone who I had worked with on the dealing with Bush in 9/11.
Okay.
And I really think that we have not been told the truth about 9/11, and I'm very happy about the architects and engineers that are still proceeding in that effort. The person said to me, "Have you heard about Obama not being natural born?"
Okay.
I said, "I've heard a little about it." She said, "Well, it's true, and you're the only attorney with brass you-know-whats that would sue Obama."
Wow.
I said, "Well, let me check it out." So they gave me some information.
Right.
And 2 weeks later, I said, "I'll do it." And then about 10 days later, we filed the first lawsuit against Obama. We filed it in August 2008, before he was nominated in Denver, Colorado, because there were enough facts out there that Obama was lying about where he was born.
Okay.
And I said from the very beginning, on the initial information I had in 2008, is that Obama was and is an imposter, a fraud, a fake, a phony.
Wow. Okay.
We sued, and the interesting thing, when we filed the first lawsuit, we sued Obama and we also sued the Democratic National Committee.
Okay.
I expected the Democratic National Committee to call Obama and say, "Are you legit or not?" Obviously they didn't, because 30 days later when a response came,
Right.
it was a joint response from Obama and the Democratic Committee moving to dismiss our case. So they were in bed with each other.
Wow.
And since that time, I've continued. The big issue which came out of that is the first court that heard any of the cases was in the Federal Eastern District of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the judge ruled that I didn't have standing. That means I didn't have the right to bring a lawsuit.
Right.
He basically said that no one in the United States has standing to bring an action against the President of the United States.
Wow.
And perhaps in the future, Congress will designate who might have standing. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
If I didn't have standing, if you didn't have standing, if all the people reading or watching this didn't have standing, there's something's wrong with this country. We really don't know what this country's doing. I mean, I think the turmoil in Egypt right now is caused partially by Obama.
Okay.
Because Obama came out and really supported the Muslims. Obama is a Muslim, okay? I don't care. Be what you want.
Right.
That's what this country provides. He's gone to other noted churches in Washington, I think, about 8 to 10 times in the past 6 years. He probably prays in the White House. Whatever he does, it's his business. That's what this country's about. That's what Pennsylvania's about. That's what the Quakers were about here in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But don't do things detrimental to us.
Okay.
Our country's a mess. Our image is a mess because of what Obama has done and is doing to portray this country. The recent things that have occurred with Obama in the past month or two should finally wake up America. What has he done in the past? Well, we have the IRS scandal. We have the Associated Press. Then we have the NSA, which is investigating all of us. And then Benghazi. Benghazi is the worst. I mean, think about that out there. I compare it to Watergate. It's 100 times worse than Watergate. Watergate was a break-in. And what caused Nixon to be thrown out of office or finally resign? The cover-up. Well, if we don't have a cover-up on Benghazi, we'll never have one. Obama, let's forget rights, because Obama himself personally goes to the United Nations 10 days after the occurrence in Benghazi. And what does he do? 5 times in his speech, he refers to the turmoil that occurred over there and blames it on a movie that was put out that offended the Muslims and others in the Middle East. Nonsense. We now know that within 24 hours we knew what it was, and we even knew before that because the officials there asked for more protection. They had more security. And what happened? It was all turned down. So that is like I say, 100 times worse. That should be the end of Obama. But will the House and Senate do anything about it? Probably not. They're all in bed with each other down there. The Republicans, Democrats. I mean, the only thing we have to do is really throw them all out.
Okay.
Because even here in Pennsylvania and other state capitals, they're interested in two things. What is that? They're interested in, number one, raising as much money as they can, to number two, get reelected.
Okay.
Other than that, they could care less about you and I. I think that the country has moved fast to label him as committing treason, because I think they're afraid of what Snowden's going to release from the NSA. I mean, has he hacked Obama's files? Has he hacked other documents from the White House?
Okay.
Something's in there that we moved that fast to declare him committing treason in this country. I think Obama has committed treason. He's committed treason by lying about who he is. As I stated, I don't know if you got that before, that all of the people in the United States have jobs or that were working before that have some kind of employment. What do you have to do to get a job? You have to give your background.
Yeah.
Well, Obama's background is sealed. People that come up and confront me and say, why are you picking on Obama? I said, well, stop. Let me ask you one question. Why has he sealed all his records? He sealed all his records because he's hiding something. You don't seal your records unless you're hiding something. And he's hiding something. He's hiding his whole background. Why are his school records sealed from Occidental College and Columbia and Harvard? Because I'm sure they will show that he applied for and received foreign aid. And why are his birth records? April 27, 2011 was the last time, with heavy pressure from Trump, he comes into the White House press room and goes, here's my birth certificate. What a joke. Yeah. There's more holes in that than Swiss cheese. So we're really in bad shape in this country. It's time for America to wake up and realize that we have to speak out. We have to demand more. The House Investigating Committee, they can investigate Obama. They haven't. We need some people to stand further. Now, I think his downfall will be two things: Benghazi and Obamacare. Obamacare, I remember Nancy Pelosi, what did she say to all of us? Pass it, and then we can read these 2,800 pages and find out what's in it.
After the fact.
I mean, give me a break.
Right,
but that's what goes on in Washington. That's what occurs, and we can't stand for that. Obama, by a recent article in Newsweek magazine, early June of 2013, came out and really laid it out and basically said that it's a totally incompetent individual in the White House. And people are going to look back in history and say, how did this occur? And it occurred because the national media gave him a free ride.
Okay.
And like I say, what are you hiding? We know what you're hiding. And if you can't come forth, I use a comparison with former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger of California.
Yes, sir.
Now, before his recent problem. His recent problem with the baby from the housekeeper. Before that, for the last 10, 15 years, they had been asking him to run for president.
Oh, okay.
And what did he say? He said, amend the Constitution. I was born in Austria. What does Obama say? He doesn't say. He walks all over the Constitution. He doesn't say I was born. Him in Hawaii did not happen. Okay? It's just very hurtful to hear what people around the world are talking about the United States. Our image has dropped considerably. People are laughing at us. I think most people around the world, most governments know that Obama's a fraud, a phony, an imposter. And we have to wake up. We have to open our eyes and demand something different.
Let's you said you were a Jewish American earlier. I want to ask your opinion about the whole ADL backlash on Paul. I don't want to put you on the spot, but
On who?
On Paul Tapeti, Poker Face. A lot of people were backing out of the event.
Yeah, I didn't hear the whole details, but I heard that several people here
Yes, sir.
did not appear because of pressure being put on them. That's ridiculous. If we're going to have a country which our forefathers wanted, and that is with all the freedoms designed. I mean, think about it. Think about these documents that they prepared over 230 years ago. The U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights. I mean, these men really put together amazing things for back then, and we're destroying it right now. no one, now they did pressure me not to be here. I don't know why. I'm pretty outspoken.
Okay.
They know that any pressure on me,
It's a wash.
I wouldn't listen.
Right.
Also, and I said, and I probably believe it, I believe that this administration is a bad administration. I believe that I would have been hurt or even eliminated a couple of years ago, but I think they didn't because they would take this story from the back pages of the press to the front pages. They would have to cover it. The national media would have to cover it.
Right.
Because the national media doesn't cover stories like this.
Is there a reason why, sir? 'Cause I tried to get the local media to come out, but it was, ended up for being not. So I just came out and tried to do the best I can,
Well, I think that what happens is no one wants to cover it because it's a topic that's like not given like an okay from Washington or okay from Harrisburg. We don't want to admit the fact that people pressure people not to speak at something, an event like this, or not to bring their band to something like this. And whatever I can do to help you promote that fact. And I didn't know even Poker Face. They were actually pressured. I wasn't sure who was pressured, but I've heard a number of people didn't show up.
Yes, sir.
It's absurd. I mean, where do these people think to get off on that? And I don't care. You mentioned, I think it was the Jewish Defense League.
Yes,
Whoever came up with that, I'm Jewish. Wrong. Snowden, our government has now labeled him as a person committing treason already.
Wow.
Why are they doing that? Because they really would like to eliminate him. They would like to get rid of him right now because everyone's afraid of what else he has. And I think that perhaps he has stuff on Obama, and maybe that's why. I mean, why are we moving that fast on this guy committing treason? I mean, the whole world's looking at this thing because now he's releasing that we're spying on the whole world. Well, they're spying on us too. But,
Yes.
But more important is that they're spying on this entire country.
Okay.
They're spying on me, everyone, well, me. I'm sure that I've been spotted since I came out with Obama in 2008. I'm
Yes.
sure I'm being followed. But everyone else's calls are being tracked and everything else.
Right.
It's like a book that came out in 1984, Big Brother. I mean, this is Big Brother watching over us, and we have to make sure there's safeguards there, and I'm not sure they are there. And that's why these things that are coming out from Snowden and others, our government lies to us all the time. Obama has done more to hurt this country in the past 5 or 6 years than all the other presidents combined. And that's scary and frightening. And we don't have anyone standing up for our rights. The media, like I said, this Newsweek article, fabulous, but other people have to get onto it and talk about what's really happening in Washington. Okay. And I'm looking forward to see if Snowden leaks anything regarding Obama. Like I said, someone has that information. I think, I'm not sure if you got it on here before, I came out with a proposal that we raised $2 million to put up a reward for the truth about Obama.
Okay.
And then I don't have the great ability to raise money, but then 2 or 3 weeks later, Trump comes out with, I'll give $5 million to the charity of Obama's choice if he releases his records from college and his birth certificate. Of course he's not going to do that, but maybe Trump, if you hear about it, turn around and turn what I wanted. Take that $5 million and put up as a reward for the people that can come forth with the information that proves Obama is a fraud, a phony, and not eligible, not constitutionally eligible to be president of the United States.
Okay. What's your voice, sir? Like, how do you get your word out to the people?
Just in the past couple of years, I've done it through my website.
Okay.
And we were getting some. I heard from my technical people that for a while there we were getting 1 million hits a day.
Okay, so there you go.
Nothing like that recently, but I'm working on some other projects and. Run I'm working with, and I don't have the name of it here, but there's a young lady, Tina, from out in Las Vegas.
Okay.
She's just put forth an effort, and I apologize. If you get back to me, we can put it in words or you can record it. I'm helping her in her efforts to go after the national media for not relating the stories. And she and I and other people, we're going after NBC first. NBC and CBS and ABC, they're all the same. They do not broadcast the stories in a proper fashion of stories that should be served out to the American public. And we're trying to expose them. And by doing this with NBC, we're suggesting you go to your local affiliate and put a complaint in, because any complaints filed by the local affiliate have to be heard.
Right.
We're going to do that with NBC, and then we'll do others.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.